So last week I was talking about how some of our emotions are actually coping skills, or some of our what we feel are ineffective or unhelpful emotions. They're really coping skills, and I've shown how they can be helpful, or how they have been helpful in the past, and that's what's caused us to continue to use them even if they're not helpful any longer. But this week I wanted to talk about an emotion that a lot of people have problems with, myself included. Actually, it's not so much of a problem any longer, but I remember for a long time it was, and that emotion is anger. My relationship with anger when I was growing up was to hide, to avoid, to stuff, because it was a unhealthy emotion, or something that, proper girls don't express, at least in the fashion that we thought anger is expressed, right? Like outwardly, violently. It was okay, boys will be boys if they get aggressive, but girls, no, they can't get into physical fights. That just was not allowed. So, you either learn to suppress them, avoid them, or use another maladaptive coping skill to deal with them. Some people did self-harm, some people did, they broke things, or they, gutted out other like violent ways, but destructive nonetheless. And some of us turn to drugs and alcohol to kind of help us suppress, or sometimes it even brought it out of us, but it was okay because we were under the influence, right? So it wasn't okay, but we could rationalize it wasn't something we normally do. It was because we were under the influence. And so dealing with anger as an adult, it was very challenging because I didn't want to, teach my children to stuff it. I didn't want to teach my children to, break things. And I didn't want to teach my children, obviously, to use substances to help. So I had to kind of like find a way, learn how to deal with it. And I wasn't taught that growing up. My parents did the best they could, but they only knew what they knew, right? What they were taught. And I knew I wanted better. I knew I wanted to change. I knew it didn't have to be that way. I learned in school that, just because, not in grade school, I learned in college, just because you are born a certain way, you have these tendencies, doesn't mean you can't change, right? Our brain is plastic. We can relearn, right? We can rewire. So anyways, it's a lot about how you perceive things, right? We've talked about that with all emotions. We can control our emotions by how we perceive things. And also it's, for me, it's figuring out why I'm angry, because why I'm angry is going to have an effect on what I do about it, right? Am I overreacting? Is it something I'm feeling I've been slighted? Am I not getting my needs met? Am I need to have a conversation with someone, but I don't feel confident enough, or whatever, and I'm stuffing it, and I'm maybe mad at myself or frustrated with the situation. There's a lot of different things to be angry at. So for me, the first step, and pretty much for any emotion that is causing me to behave in a ineffective way, is figure out what is causing the emotion. What is it that I'm angry about? This way I can, and part of that is slowing down. Getting that awareness of why you have the emotion is slowing down, it's pausing. So whenever I'm feeling intense emotions, my first go-to is always to pause, take a step back, take some breaths, right? Not to react, And that takes time in itself, and I've talked about that in other videos. That takes time just to pause, but then reflecting and really identifying why I'm feeling this emotion. And once you start doing this, by the way, it will get easier, it will be quicker, it won't take you days, it might take you a few moments and minutes, but at the beginning it will take some time. It will take hours, days, maybe it will take longer before you actually can do it on a regular basis, right? It's a skill. It really is a skill. And if you've been doing something a certain way for a long period of time, you've got to unlearn that behavior and learn the new behavior. So give yourself a break. It will take some time, but you will get there. Just keep at it. I hope this helps you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember to hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you next time. Until next time, take care. Peace.